Hello everyone and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 13 live stream and Q&A with me, Holly Shand. I'm going to be revealing my team on the stream today, as well as looking at answering your questions, talking captaincy as well. So there's lots to get through. Obviously no stream for blank game week 12, so apologise again for not having the content for you guys, but hopefully no more illnesses. Hopefully my voice gets through this one as well. I'll go on as long as possible, that's for sure. I can see lots of you saying hello already in the chat, which is great to see. If you are new around here, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. About 100 subs off 15k now, so it'd be great if we could get that today on the stream, and that'll allow you to talk in the chat as well if you don't already. So I'm gonna jump over to the chat first and say some hellos. Quite a lot of you in already. Some of you leaving questions before you even got started as well, which is great to see. Wayne has said hello, as has Peter. Carly is in, and Giraffe, Trexie, Gary, GW13. Great to see all of you here. I've not made my transfer yet for Game Week 13, but I'm kind of getting there. I'm going to be making it very soon. I think the knock for Saka has made things a bit easier because I was, umming and ahhing as to whether to bring in a Arsenal midfielder this week or Cancelo. I'm just going to get Cancelo now, I think, because it's just an easy move. So it'll be Thiago Silva coming out for Cancelo. I've got 0.2 in the bank still, so, still a little bit of flexibility there, and I'll worry about getting onto Arsenal assets next week, because I think once Cancelo's plugged in there, the team's not looking too bad. I mean, I wish I had Ward. It's so annoying that I had to go Iverson on wildcard for the 0.1 because, I'd love to play Ward this week over double Newcastle United defence. But other than that, the team's looking okay. Hopefully Emerson will get the start after the rest in midweek against Liverpool. I'm happy to double up on Fulham and bench Trossard. It's not, there will be some really strong wildcard teams out there this week, so I can't expect too much. But in terms of, where I'm at in terms of my selection, it kind of picks itself right now, this team. So I'm very happy with the direction it's heading in. I don't think that there isn't an obvious move of taking a hit that I think would pay off, particularly with this situation with Saka now, which, it's unlikely that he'll miss out, but Arteta may just decide not to take the risk with him. 2 o'clock kickoff on Sunday, so time is on his side, but played quite a lot of minutes in midweek, and that's where he picked up the little bit of the knock. So tricky one. I'm just gonna check, because Arsenal's fixture obviously this week is okay and next week's okay. It's Chelsea in game week 15. It's probably quite a big one on their schedule to contend with, but that's kind of where I'm at the moment. I am going to jump back over to the chat and do a few more hellos. And if you are in here, hit that like button as well. 11 of you have liked it so far. There's 21 of you watching. So let's get that like count up for me today. A few more hellos. Nuclear Atoms is in. As well as Jigar, who says, how was my game week 12? Forgot to touch on this. Gazman has managed to creep in as well. Good to see you. What was I talking about? Game week 12. One of my better game weeks, to be fair. Game week 12, 57 points. I did take a -4 for Trossard, who only got 3, and I only had 10 players because Silva and Emerson didn't play. But, like many people, a clean sheet of defence and goalkeeper. Clean sheets. Zaha got his goal. Mitrovic scored. Salah captain though. What a disappointment. So yeah, I'm on a green arrow. I did dip inside the top 1 million briefly. Back outside again now, but hopefully I can get back up into there as well. Stan is in as well. Hello Stan, thank you for joining, as is Super Duper FC and Forever Zangshu. So thanks so much everyone. Start getting those questions in, because I am going to jump over to the chat now and start having a look at them all. I think maybe I did miss one up at the top. Hang on, let me get it on the right window and I'll be able to see. It's from Wayne. Hi Holly, I've done Trossard to Foden with my free transfer, but would... Gosh, it's scrolling the wrong way now. I've lost your question. I can't see it. What is going on, guys? I got halfway through and then it skipped. I think it's because I've got all this at the top. For some reason I can't go back in the chat, Andy, so you'll have to drop it in again if you don't mind. I can see Peter's question, I think, just. Should I sell for my front three of Kane, Jesus and Nunes on wildcard? There's a lot of managers going for Nunes, so we've got to remember that Gabriel Jesus is a 1 yellow card now away from a suspension, which is a shame. Makes him a difficult buy on wildcard, but you know, he is delivering still, so we have to bear that in mind. He could still be a really good pick to go for. Carly said, should I take a -4 to change Sterling to Salah and Kane to Haaland? No. Oh, I mean, I like the move to Haaland. I think you need him, Carly. Whether it's worth doing Sterling to Salah as well, I don't think that's probably worth the hit. But you do need to make getting Haaland your top priority if you don't know him already. It could pay off. You just need to think, do you expect Salah to outscore Sterling this week? And, you know, is there anyone else that you could go to from Sterling that's likely to outscore Salah? It could work. I've changed my mind after reading the full dilemma there. Giraffe has said, I have James sat on my bench. I have Cancelo, Saliba and Trippier, and suggestions who to replace Reece James with. I mean, you've got the key men in there with Cancelo and Trippier. I mean, you can go to basically anyone. You could double up on the Arsenal defence. Let's have a look at the Hub fixture ticker. Remember, this stream is powered by Fantasy Football Hub and the link is in the description if you want to get yourself a membership. So in terms of clean sheet potential over the remaining 4 game weeks of the season, West Ham are top, but they do have a lot of injuries, followed by Man City, Everton, Spurs and Liverpool. So where do you go there? I mean, you could go with a Spurs defender, you could go with a West Ham defender, you could go with a Liverpool defender. Obviously Matip's out, which kind of makes them less attractive, but you could go with someone like Joe Gomez. So Forest, Leeds, Southampton, those 3 fixtures kind of scream clean sheets. Spurs defenders is a problem because the ones we want are Perisic and Doherty, and I don't think either of them are going to start in game week 13. So I'm personally avoiding those Spurs defenders, but I can see why people would be interested in taking a little bit of a risk there with them. But there are options out there. I think the other one was West Ham, wasn't it? I mean, you could go to Palace. Everyone's been buying Gay. Have kept 2 clean sheets in 5. So that's another option. Gives you more funds to go elsewhere. So it's a tricky bracket at the moment, the defenders, if I'm honest. You know, Trippier and Cancelo are really outstanding. Can you go with a Leicester defender? Look at them clean sheets. It's just, well, obviously Castagne's been quite lucky, fortunate in a way, but 4 clean sheets in 4 is pretty impressive. So, you know, don't rule it out. Trexie is also struggling to scroll back in the chat. I'm glad it is not just me. Thank you for joining me though. No point in taking points hits unless you really have to with the World Cup break coming. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, I was weighing up the wild card and what a wild card would look like, and I do think that, you know, triple City and triple Arsenal is the really smart play, because if you look at the overall fixtures on the fixture ticker, particularly Man City, the outstanding side in the Premier League, second in the fixture ticker. Arsenal a little bit further down, granted, but I think the fixtures are probably easier than it looks. Again, you could look to triple up on them, and I do think that if wanting to triple up on Man City and Arsenal for those fixtures, but it's going to take you a few weeks to get to Arsenal. Then that Chelsea fixture's looming. You kind of miss the boat a little bit. So I think if you want to be aggressive with hits, I think this is a good week to do it when we've got the swing of fixtures for Man City and Arsenal. Because, you know, as each week goes on for the next 4 game weeks, it's going to be less and less convincing being able to do that. Gary has asked, do I play Solanke on pens or Andreas with the better fixture? So, Bournemouth have got West Ham away. Don't think that's that bad a fixture. Obviously, Fulham are away at Leeds. Andreas has got 4 attacking returns this season, 1 goal, 3 assists. Solanke, sorry, I've just knocked my mic there, so if that blew anyone's heads off, has got 6 attacking returns this season. He has got the penalties, so I think you play Solanke. Let's just have a look at the points predictions for this week. So Solanke is on 3.7. Andreas Pereira is on 3.5. So just Solanke, Gary. I think if you've got Mitro anyway, it's kind of easier to play Solanke. Sino said, good to see you back. Thank you for sticking by me despite the illnesses. If you are in here, by the way, guys, hit that like button. It does really help me to get the stream out to as many people as possible. There's 45 of you in at the moment. We're not at 45 likes yet. We're at 22 likes. And if you are new, hit that subscriber button as well. I really would love to get to 15,000 subs before the deadline. Sorry, I just jumped out my skin there. I think husband was being a bit loud downstairs. So yeah, if you don't subscribe already, please do. 15,000 subs would be amazing for the channel. We're at 102 off, so it's close. We're getting there. Let's see what other questions we've got in the chat then. Please keep them coming as well. Yacino says, hat-trick for Tony this game week if Aston Villa are playing without a coach. I think I'd be more hopeful of a hat-trick for Tony if Gerrard was still there, because I think the fact that there's change at Aston Villa gives the players hope. Let's see what happens, but yeah, it's still a great fixture. Aston Villa have been so poor. Like, how many seasons ago was it that Martinez was the goalkeeper? It was this one, wasn't it? 2021. 15 clean sheets, 27 bonus points, 186 points. A phenomenal score this season, 2 clean sheets. 16 goals conceded, including 6 in the last 3. Tells you all you need to know about Aston Villa's defence at the moment. We just need to make sure, hope that Tony doesn't pick up his 5th yellow card. I mean, it'd be better that... We kind of want him to get it against Forest, don't we? Because we'd probably sell him anyway for game week 16 against Man City. Just something to keep an eye on there, guys. Super Duper FC, start 2, Trippier, Perisic or Gay. I think it'll be taken out of your hands because I don't think Perisic will start, but for that reason I'd say Trippier and Gay. And Gazman's left his question for later. Foden for 13, Saka for 14 sound like a good plan. Yeah, I mean, Foden and Saka are among the most transferred in for this week. And the reason Foden is the most transferred this week and Saka isn't is because he's got 10 attacking returns this season. He's thriving under Pep. He's starting every game. The fixtures are really good. I think it's easy. Foden is if you don't earn either, Foden has to be the priority, and that not for Saka has just made it easier. Another question on playing Solanke v Andreas. I think we've covered that one now, Jigar. 56 points from 9. It's an impressive score. Yacino got 58 points last week as well. David has joined us from Melbourne. Thank you, David. Thanks for supporting the channel. Trexie says, I'm surprised you've gone back to Salah, Holly. He finished last season poorly, started this season slowly. In his price bracket, you need the high-level consistency like Haaland and KDB. Yeah, I looked at this, but then I looked at building a wild card for game week 13, and actually building a wild card with Salah in it is more than doable, because there's so much value elsewhere that, you know, you can pick Haaland and Salah, and the rest will just, you know, plod along with the cheap options elsewhere. You can't really spend the money at the moment, and I mean, Salah's not going to be staying till game week 16, but Forest away is just such a good fixture, and Leeds at home in game week 14, like, he could get a reprieve and get that fixture for me as well. Let's see what happens. If he plays central, then he's got that potential. Kinga says, do I start Solanke or Trippier this week? That is a tough one, but I probably would start Solanke. Keep the questions coming, guys. It's good to see so many of you getting involved in the chat today. Alistair said, thoughts on Bowen to Odegaard after this weekend and going forward, Kufal to Akanji. I think Bowen to Odegaard is like a frustration because Bowen missed the pen. I still think there's potential for Bowen. I mean, granted, Arsenal's fixtures are good, aren't they? See, Bowen had such a poor start to the season, but he has improved. He had, like, game week 9-10, he was great. Should have scored against Liverpool, but didn't. But, you know, if penalties are out the equation, that does make it a little bit more of a challenge. Let's just look over the next 4 game weeks. I mean, this is something to note as well. Salah is still predicted to be the second highest scoring player over the final 4 game weeks until the World Cup break. Sorry, guys. So, I know you're looking at Odegaard, but if you're looking at Bowen replacements, Bowen's there, look in the list, so he's 9th. Zaha, Saka, Martinelli, Bernardo's in there, Foden. That's where you need to be going for your replacements. Odegaard's just more of like a steady assister. Kufal to Akanji as well. I've not talked all week, so that'd be all right for this, and then I'm still struggling. We'll keep going now. Akanji has started all of the last 4 games for Man City, so he seems to be the one that's getting the game time with Walker out. Is he 100% nailed? That's the question that we don't know the answer to. I think the thing is for me, Alistair, if you're tripling up on Man City, which I think you need to, the triple up that you need to go with is Foden, Haaland and Cancelo. Like, Cancelo, in terms of points per game's terms, is just so far ahead of all the other defenders. I sold Cancelo in game week 10. He got 18 points. Derailed all the good progress I'd made over previous weeks. Like, I mean, you probably own Cancelo anyway, but that triple up on Man City is what you need to be doing. Yahim says Salah blanked miserably. KDB, Haaland, Cancelo to go. Yeah, probably. I mean, I prefer Foden to Haaland. Not to Haaland, to KDB. Like, he's significantly cheaper. I think it was 4.3 million. It's now 3.9 million, but still, that is a massive gap. And Foden's got 3 points more than De Bruyne this season. He's more likely to get B among the goals. It's not like KDB's on pens, is it? Kama said, not sure which pool assets will start this week. Salah is safe. Yeah, tricky one. I was just going to have a look what the predicted lineups say. It's like the Liverpool defenders, the fullbacks, obviously look good if we know that they're going to start. This assumption is that Trent and Robbo will start. I'm just not sure whether we'll see this with Salah through the middle. I think if Núñez starts, then, you know, it could be different. Zhang Chu, would you take a hit to take Cody out for Gabriel? I've Cancelo, Trippier, Duncan, Neco, Williams. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult because you don't really... I mean, Trippier and Cancelo obviously will play those this week, but Duncan, Neco, Williams, you kind of don't want to. But Cody's got Crystal Palace at home. It's not a bad fixture. Are you that sure that Gabriel's going to outscore Cody by 4 points? Do you have to play aggressively like that? Wayne has asked Zaha to Saka for a hit. No. Zaha's not going anywhere in my team. 6 attacking returns this season in, let's say, 9 games. Everton, Southampton, West Ham, Forest for the final 4. You've got to keep him. That's what he's there for. You just buy him, hold him long term. That is the strategy. And I think there's a few concurring with me here in the chat as well. What I was going to say was, if you are in at the moment, please give this a like. Subscribe to the channel as well. Help me get to 15,000 subs. That'll be a massive milestone. It'll make my weekend. So if you sat there and you don't subscribe already, just hit the button. And then you'll know every week when I've gone live as well. We're 100 away, guys. Help me out. Tell your mates as well. Yaheem says, I've got Alisson and Joe Gomez for this game week. Take a -12. You've taken a -12. Wow. I don't like big hits like that, but good luck. I hope it pays off. Fearless says, Kepa or Ward? I have Castagna too. I mean, Kepa for me is just a bargain. I know, granted, the fixtures are mixed. But 3 clean sheets in 4 under Potter. Manchester United didn't score, and have they not scored for a couple of games now, Manchester United? I feel like I'm losing track of what's happened. Yeah, they failed to score against Newcastle, failed to score against Spurs. Then you've got... Where's Kepa gone? Let's have a look at the fixtures. Brighton failed to score in the last 3 games. Arsenal's obviously tricky. And then Newcastle, who have been a bit up and down, only scored 1 goal in the last 2 games. So for me, I think Kepa is a really good pick. He's going to be really popular. When we've all got unlimited transfers after the World Cup break, there's going to be a lot of people that are going and getting Kepa in their teams. And he won't be 4.5 million. Sorry, have I just got the score wrong? Sorry, guys. I'm losing it. Do you know what my excuse is? I didn't see the game because I was ill. That was game week 10, right? Yeah. Oh, I'm lost. No. Sorry. Ignore me. Poor fan. Don't tune out. But yeah, no, I do think there's plenty of potential for Kepa. Keep me on the right track, lads. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long week. So much illness in the house. Right, Coded has said, what about Bruno G? You see, when Bruno G is good, everyone looks at him and thinks, should I have him in my team? But he just plays too deep. You've got to look at Almiron's got 20 points more than him. 4 attacking returns so far this season. Like, he's probably the sort of player that'll finish the season on 6 goals and 6 assists, which, you know, at his price isn't bad. But then you look at Almiron, he's just... I think Almiron's a better pick. Cam said, thanks for taking the time to do the live streams. Keep them coming. They are keeping coming. Don't worry, Cam. As long as I can speak. And I've got childcare. They'll be coming. FPL Junkie, hello Holly. Sorry, I completely lost my place in the chat there. Haaland captain, Mount to Foden, Ward over Pope, and Gay over Johnny for me this week. That all sounds really sensible. Your team sounds brilliant. Nice move, by the way. Peter says, so glad to see you back. Saka or Martinelli for Trossard? Worried about Saka missing game week 13. I mean, if you're worried, get Martinelli, but Saka is the better pick long term, should he be available. You know, he's on pens and that's massive. Cam has said, I think Trent will share minutes with Milner. Yeah, I mean, it could happen. But I think Klopp's had the opportunities to drop Trent and he's kind of stuck with him. You know, he is going to be in the England squad for the World Cup, so it's important that he gets the minutes in this little period, but also that he stays fit. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out, but I do think that you can buy Trent with reasonable confidence if you think that he's a good pick to have in FPL this week. I do think that you should stick by that. FPL Junkie says, thoughts on Andreas not getting the assist for Fulham's first goal? Was it like a corner that wasn't a corner that meant that he didn't get the assist? I haven't seen it, so I can't really give my full verdict on it, but I know it was a little bit contentious, but we'll trust FPL with their scoring. David has said, on wildcard this week, would you trade Saka in and bench him and play 3-4-3 for a week? I'm considering Almiron and Billing as my fifth midfielder. Yeah, I think Almiron is good as a fifth midfielder, but I do think that if you are getting Saka, just start him. I think he'll probably play still. Arteta said he wasn't worried. That would be my advice. Saka is really a great pick long term, so I wouldn't not buy him. Just make sure you've got the bench to cover it, which you've obviously got a plan for, which is good. I think it's easier than those for a wild card than those on a free transfer to get Saka this week. Coded photography, what about Jesus? What is the suitable replacement? Keep him. I wouldn't buy Jesus this week because he's one yellow card off a suspension, but I think he's absolutely fine to get this week. Sorry, I've just realised, is the chat not moving? David says, I've already got Martinelli. Yeah, that's fine. I'd do exactly that, double up on there. WB, double up on Newcastle United defence or play Gay. I think if it's a case of playing Trippier or not, I'd just play Trippier because he's so attacking. We don't necessarily need the clean sheet there. Cam says start Trippier or Kilman. Start Trippier. You see now a lot of defenders to get this game week. Ben White, Robbo, Arnold. Yeah, I mean, if I was buying an Arsenal defender this week, I think I'd get Gabriel. I think he's a bit more nailed than White. And obviously Saliba's one yellow off suspension. Keep the likes on the stream coming, guys. Let's try and get to 50 likes on the stream. That'd be amazing. And I'm going to have a sneaky look at how the old follower count's doing as well. 15k would be amazing. We're 97 away. I don't think we're quite going to do it on this stream, guys. But, you know, if you don't subscribe already, help me on the way. Hopefully we can get there for next week. Faz says, Triple City, Haaland and KDB, the third one, Cancelo or Foden. I think if I didn't own Foden, I'd buy him sooner than I'd buy Cancelo. But could you go KDB to Foden and bring in Cancelo with the funds you've released? Yacino says, are you scared, Holly? You've got 3 Arsenal players in a time. You've got no Arsenal players in a time where you need 3 of them. Yep, I'm worried. Top of the league, doing really well this season. Nice fixture this weekend. I'm hoping... I mean, this is a little bit ambitious. I don't think Saka will miss out, but because I don't own him, I'm hoping that Saka misses out, and because he's, you know, such an integral part of the side, that means Arsenal don't play as well as they normally do. But it's ambitious, for sure. But do I take a hit, you see, now to get an Arsenal player in? And then who do I get? Let's have another look. Let me jump over to this window just because it's clearer. I'm not selling Salah this week. I'm definitely going to get Cancelo. I can go from Trossard to Martinelli for a hit and bench Andreas. But Martinelli's not actually been that consistent recently. Southampton have been so poor defensively though. Do I think Martinelli's going to definitely outscore Andreas by 4 points? No. It's 2 double-digit returns this season. And it's like, if I don't do it this week... I mean, I need to lose Trossard soon, but it's a bit of a mess, isn't it? I need some more funds. My team value is shocking. But I could potentially drop Salah and Trossard and get Saka and Martinelli in next week for a -4. But then if I'm going to do that next week, do I just get Martinelli this week and have the stronger squad over the 2 weeks? Because we've only got 4 weeks till the break. I don't know, guys. Help me out. Do you think it's worth a hit to get Martinelli in for Trossard and bench Andreas? My gut feeling is that it isn't. Headaches. So this is all FPL does, is give me a headache. Cam says, I'm not going big at the back again. Trent and Robertson burnt me in the first 6 game weeks. Yeah, we've all been there, Cam. Bronwyn. Bowen to Silva. No, I wouldn't make that move. I prefer Bowen. I don't think Silva's in the optimal triple up. Cricket fan says Mings, unlucky by the way, Mings to White or Gabriel for -4. I mean, I think Arsenal have got a really good chance of keeping a clean sheet. What are your other options? What other defenders have you got? Jar Jar says thoughts on a Rashford punt for game week 14 to 16. I mean, I don't love it. Manchester United have just been a bit too inconsistent for my liking. Not delivered an attacking return since before Liz Truss became Prime Minister. Put that in perspective. In FPL, granted. I'm not loving it now. Nuclear Atom said, thoughts on my -8 Doherty, Trossard, Mount out for Ben White, Saka, Foden. I did this morning 30 minutes before the price rise. Yeah, don't hate that. I mean, I'm not going to tell you it's terrible now you've done it. Alan says, thoughts on moving Mitro to Nunes, because you've got no Liverpool players, or triple Arsenal. I wouldn't be selling Mitrovic. He's got Leeds away this week. He scored 7-8 goals now, and he's Mr. Penn. In 9 starts. 9 full appearances. Leeds next, Everton after that. Keep Mitro. You see now, I believe that Eze is better than Zaha because you can afford to bench Eze and not Zaha. Yeah, Eze's kind of come along. He didn't do anything in the first few weeks of the season. And then in his last few games, he's come alive with 2 goals. Crystal Palace's fixtures are great. It's 5.6 million. Like, he's a nice pickup. I like owning Zaha though. Cam says hold off on Saka. Yeah, I think unless you're on a wild card, I don't think you buy Saka this week now. In my opinion. Keep the questions coming then, guys. I'm just going to take a quick drink. Just made sure to mute the mic there. Agree with City trio of Cancelo, Foden and Haaland. Tough decision to beat KDB, but much better value. Yeah, you're right there. BM Hills also says, need some help on some differentials. I mean, let's go back to the ticker. All the way up. Tools, fixture analyzer, next 4. How much is Bowen's ownership? Because I wouldn't sell him this week. I bet he is over 10% now. He was under 5.4%. See? Don't mind Bowen as a differential still. I bet Nunez's ownership is on the up again, isn't it? 6.8%. 2 goals in 3. Nice differential there. And then defenders, they're basically all differentials now, other than Trippier and Cancelo, the Arsenal guys. There's loads of defensive differentials. I did mention quite a few at the top of the stream. Sorry if I've said that completely wrong. Rup Kamal. Should I take out Kane and Trossard to get Salah and possibly Solanke for a -4? Otherwise, Trossard out for Saka. I don't mind the Trossard out for Saka. I don't think the hit's worth it to get Salah. Info says Zaha a hold for now. I agree. Gitio, what do you do of Maddison? I think if you've held him this long, keep him. He's been incredibly consistent this season. 7 attacking returns. I mean, it's the 2 blanks and then the ban, but Wolves, Everton, West Ham in the next 4. Leicester are improving. Kahemi says, I still have Salah. I traded him with KDB. Seeing Salah's inconsistency, I want KDB off Foden back. I think Salah to Foden is going to be a good move for you maybe next week, but I wouldn't do it this week. Trossard to Saka could still be okay. Neil says, you've hit the like button. Thank you, Neil. Appreciate that. Took an early hit for Trossard and Billing out for Saka and Martinelli. Hopefully Saka's okay. Yeah, I hope so for you as well. Fo says Martinelli for Trossard is a good long term, so the hit will benefit you in the long run, considering we have only a few game weeks till the World Cup. Yeah, let me have another look. I mean, it makes me stronger for this week, doesn't it? I think do you know what it is, guys? My reluctance is I sold Cancelo and Martinelli 2 weeks ago for Thiago and Foden. And then I've got to buy them back for a hit. I think I'm just going to do the one transfer. Taku says Perisic to Trent or Maddison to Foden, or both for a -4. I think I'd just get Foden. Coded says I got Anthony now, I want to replace. Yeah, it's frustrating. Trexie, I'm keeping Salah for the next 2, and then if United keep the form, I will bring in Bruno Fernandes for him. Yeah, Bruno is another one of those players that's 1 yellow off a suspension. Nuclear Atom says, what can make you take hits like -4 and -8 is because of missing players or the opportunity to jump on players with big potential. Yeah, it's got to be the potential rather than the chasing lost points. FPL Junkie, please don't just send me a whole team because it just makes it really difficult to help. Peter says, how have I coped with holding Thiago Silva and Emerson when they're both blanked in 12? Yeah, frustrating. I think Thiago Silva's been more frustrating because Chelsea have kept 2 clean sheets that I haven't got, even though I've had a Chelsea defender. But, you know, it's been and gone. We've got to look forward. Kativu saying losing Son or Kane to getting Salah. Don't mind Son to Salah, but I wouldn't lose Kane in there. Right, let's have a look at the captain poll then. So we've had 132 votes on this. 86% Haaland, 13% Salah. So that just shows you where everyone is on captaincy this week, which is amazing. I think I'm going to leave it there, guys, for this one because I don't know how much longer my voice will last today. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already there, guys. Help me get to 15k very soon. Don't think I'm going to manage it before the deadline now, but hopefully in the next couple of days I'll be able to get there. But hopefully by this time next week, let's say that much. But thank you all for watching. Good luck. I will post my final team once it's finally locked in after the press conferences. But it's been a pleasure, as always, and I'll speak to you soon.